All right, what's going on, everybody? Today we're back to review Fully Coolly Progressive, episode 5, Full on the Planet. And oh my god, this episode was freaking insane. Freaking insane. I think this was honestly the best episode so far. I'm here to do a review discussion on the episode with my friend here, Rex Sparks. He's been doing the reviews so far with me. And I think you can agree with me. This episode topped last week's episode, and last week's episode was amazing. Last week's episode was definitely a return to form. Cause after that other
It's definitely
episode that was like a filler episode when they were at the beach, a few people like there might be some people that didn't really like that episode or that might have been too weak for them, but they definitely picked it up these past two episodes.
they knew they had to step it up because like you only have 6 episodes to fill. So it's like, yeah, we need to kick this plot into high gear. And I guess like they did after killing Yu off, but yeah. I have been told, like, look at her license plate. It was kind of like foreshadowed just looking at her license plate that she was gonna go. So
Yeah, I think they also foreshadow what just happened to E Day. I think they've been foreshadowing it the whole time. Even with the I want to say like the second or third episode where like she kept seeing like a dead version of him or something. She kept like we kept seeing flashes of I guess like a zombie version of him or like a dead version of him or whatever. So they've been kind of foreshadowing what happened to E Day in this episode, where Hidomi basically sees Haruko over Ide after they're fighting, and man, let's just take a step back and just admire how different and how weird this episode was, and especially when it came to the animation and the art style, they completely just went all in, just switching up the art style this week. And you were the first person to actually point that out to me. The whole thing with the change of art style when we saw the preview for tonight's episode. I mean, they did they used multiple. They used a bunch of different styles. They used a watercolor style for the intro. The first few scenes of the episode was the watercolor style, and it was also in black and white. And I think that was kind of cool. And they also did like what we saw for like most of the episode was like everybody was like in you can tell the art style was kind of like darker lines or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. It was definitely different.
honestly, like I kept getting like Death Stranding vibes out of it. I loved it though. I absolutely loved the art style in the beginning though.
I didn't
like
think
when it
I didn't think that we would ever get the manga like the manga
oh
art
yeah, the
style
Mario
animation
art
again
style
like
back.
what they did in the first season, because they even made a joke. I think they made a joke in like the first season. It was like that was expensive, so we were told that we can't do that again or something. They said something like that in the first season, and I was wondering if they were gonna do that again. So I was happy to see that we saw some of the manga inspired art style return. When Hidomi is like when we see the flashback to her basically talking to her mother, and she's yelling at her because her mother plans on closing up the restaurant and basically moving on. I guess they might move because I guess they were just in that town just waiting for her father. And something I do like, and this is something that we also both agreed that we love to see happen, was just the fact that we're getting to learn more about Hidomi. She's kind of, and they said it in this episode. She's changed, and then also we're seeing more of her personality, more of who she really is, within these last two episodes. So I can really appreciate what they're doing with this character, especially by the end of the episode.
My God, dude. Dude, I was literally like screaming, like, "Don't the final boss! Don't the final boss!"
Man, I hope she kills Haruko. I'm sorry, she's starting to piss me off. Man,
She's been pissing me off since this season started. To be honest with you, Go ahead. Sorry.
Here's the thing with her though. Here's something that I like. Okay, so what was with her being pregnant? I was thinking like, is the fact that she's pregnant? Is she like, is that supposed to be Genu in her belly? Because that's what I was thinking the whole time.
Kind of, yeah, same before like it completely goes away when Conti like comes back. We're going all over the place for this. If you couldn't tell,
Yeah, man.
we're
We
sorry in
look,
advance.
look,
But
man. We
this
just
episode
gonna
was like that.
like we got to. This episode was just insane. It was just freaking insane. We have to be all over the place. I apologize if we a bit if we are a bit scatterbrained with this review discussion this week, but this is a big episode to unpack. There was a lot of stuff that happened, and it went so quickly too. And one thing I can appreciate is just the fact that this episode felt like it was an hour long. Maybe it's just me. I felt that way. I felt like the episode had so much in it, and I was waiting for a commercial break the whole time. But like it just kept going and kept going. So
More
we definitely
dreading
got what
commercials.
people, because there were some people that were kind of, there were people that were lukewarm when it came to this season. They weren't really feeling it that much. You know, the first few episodes, and I feel like they really picked up. Man, I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, honestly, like after last week, it like completely like took off. Like like I said before, like they know like when to kick it in high gear, especially when it's like, okay, we have 6 episodes to do this. Let's get it out of the third gear. Let's go full throttle with this. And this episode really felt like a full throttle episode, and just God, I was dreading the animation change in the ad for it though. But after this episode, I was like, can it be like this? Because it was visually stunning like the entire time for me personally, especially when the like when the suit of that Ide dropped off after he got sucked in the Hidomi's brain. Um, he got sucked up in that like storage bin, and then Conti's head comes out. It's like, oh my god, this is really stunning, and I'm just I'm like floored how like you, I'm kind of like floored at how fast everything was going. To be honest with you, it's like, okay, we got a joke here, we got to put this everything in motion, and then it's like, okay, the whole process to this was that like the eye patch and red hair dude was basically the whole process to that was just to get like a robot set up for the amusement park to fight off medical mechanica, fight off the iron, which was now tilted over because of the events of the last episode. Then you also got a domain in the mix now. It's like there is too much going on right now.
Man, and the whole amusement park was just a
I'm
weapon to
winded.
fight medical mechanica. I'm so happy that there was a payoff to that. I
My
mean,
God, yes.
I expected them to have some type of payoff for it. So I'm glad that it was this, because I don't think anyone would have guessed it really. I mean, honestly,
Didn't.
I mean, we all knew that something was probably up with that amusement park and everything. But man, there was just so much going on in this episode, and not only that, it was a lot of stuff that I don't think that I've ever seen. Like, one thing I can say, this show is freaking creative. The way that they just put everything together, and the way that everything is kind of, I guess this might be the wrong word this might be the wrong word to use, but the way everything is choreographed, the way everything is structured when it comes to not only the animation, but just how different scenes are just flowing together, despite how random everything might seem. And I definitely have to point out this scene where Haruko tells everybody to go to the amusement park, and they say that she said that couples. She said something like couples getting free or something like that. There was some type of deal or discount or whatever for couples, and like everybody leaves the room except for Hidomi. And man, the animation with that joint was crazy. And then when they're at the amusement park, and when
No.
I think we came back from commercial break, and then it was like two random students confessing their love to some girl, and then they start fighting. And I swear this is a reference to Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura when Naruto and Sasuke were fighting on. I think they were fighting on the rooftop at the hospital. You remember when they were fighting, and then she was yelling. She was
Yeah.
like, "Stop fighting!" And then Kakashi stopped Sasuke and Naruto. That's what that crap reminded me of. I don't know if that was supposed to be a reference to that, but that was just like the first thing that came to my head.
Funny yet you mentioned Naruto because the black dude in the scene is actually Kiba's voice actor.
Oh, really?
I'm dead serious. I can recognize their voices now because I've heard them in so many other things. So it's like, oh, does that Kiba's voice actor? It sounds like him. That's him. That's him. Oh my god, what is he doing here? So, oh, like what was the dude's what was his name? The dude in the the dude in the ride. The dude in the ride. I can't remember his name right now because my mind's so scattered right now.
Oh,
That's
Marco.
Marco. Marco's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. He's Sasuke.
Oh, really? I would have never guessed. I would have never.
It's
guessed.
serious. Dude, I can recognize his voice. All I hear is like Ben 10. Like even this man speaks. It's like his voice just naturally sounds like Ben 10. It's like it's amazing. Regardless of that, though, can we talk about real quick? Can we talk about this real quick? That Hidomi calls Haruko out on her BS about being in love with Automask. That got me so good because no one up until this point has ever called her out on being in love with this bird. She actually called him a bird, and I'm like, he called her stupid. I'm like, go girl, yes. We have never had this up to this point. Yes, now kill her. What are we doing? No, don't you go to credits. Don't you go to credits. So, oh my god, I can't wait for the finale.
And
oh my god.
Just the design of Hidomi at the end where she's like, I think it was like speakers or something coming out of her arm or something. That thing was crazy.
I was like, what the? So, like, what? Oh my god! Like, I think her Conti, her version of Conti is gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be a robot that we saw in the first episode. To be honest, a fighter. I think anyway.
Man, honestly,
remember that's how Conti came out.
I want her to die. She needs to die. Like she's nothing but a.
Dude, I'm sorry. Dude, I'm sorry, but FLCL alternative is a thing, and that's not going to happen. I want her to die just for the simple fact of the matter. She killed Jinyu. And my whole thing with that is, it's like, you have a serious character, and I know, like, there are a dime a dozen in anime at this point, but if you have a serious character in the amount of insanity that is the FLCL universe, it's like, that is cool. Because you don't get that. Everyone practically is insane.
Yeah, she was basically discreet man, well, discreet woman in this case. She's basically playing discreet the whole time and just being serious and kind of being the one in the room, with like the common sense or whatever. But I still think that might have been her in Haruko's belly because it just like at first it was just so weird because I was thinking at first like when we first saw Haruko in this episode. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's because of this new animation, but like, why does she look pregnant? Then I'm thinking, oh, that might be Jinyu in her belly, and then all of a sudden, she's not pregnant anymore. So, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Are you having Automaski's baby or something, or is this Jinyu trying to come out again?
Yeah,
it's like, what is this?
She told them that she's getting married.
It's like, yeah, it's Automaski's talking about. That's what I got out of that. But still, it's like, you need to pay. You need to pay for all this. And it's like no one has ever opposed her. It's like either Ide went after her, Jinyu's gone after her, now Hidomi's gone after her. If you look back in the first season, no one has gone up against her like this. And I love this season for it.
It's like what you said. I think it was like the first or the second time we did a review for this season. It's like what you said. There was never someone on her level. It was never someone who could fight on her level. And even Ide's trying to fight her throughout this episode. At one point, he's like, "You need to stay away from Hidomi. Leave her alone. Leave her out of it." and he's basically trying to defend her honor and everything, and he ends up losing, and then at the end, Hidomi basically fighting Haruko, and I honestly hope that next episode we get a big, even bigger fight with those two. But
I
yeah,
think it's going to
overall,
be
I
on the
thought this
bigger.
episode was the best episode so far. I didn't think it was going to be possible to top last week's episode, but they managed to do it. And the thing with both of these episodes, with last week's episode and this episode, I think the thing with Fully Cooley, what makes Fully Cooley, you have to have a fast paced episode. You gotta really pack a lot in one episode, and it's definitely that musical soundtrack because in both in this episode and then last episode, we had more of the pillows playing in the background, as opposed to some of the because there were certain scenes in like some episodes where yeah the pillows weren't playing in the background, which is what we were used to, which is why maybe it kind
Oh,
of felt
yeah.
off for some people maybe.
And also about this episode brilliantly, it's like you even got like the old tracks from the old season. It's like, oh my god, is that I think I can in the background
Yep,
where
and there
she's
was an
like,
old track in last week's episode. It almost feels like a
um,
different team of people. It almost feels like a different team of people either wrote these two episodes or directed these two episodes or whatever. It almost feels like that. Not to say
kind of
that
does.
not to say that the beginning of the season was bad. I'm just saying it just feels like a different level of or not. I can't even say quality, but it feels closer to what we know Fully Cooley to be from the first season. Is the best way to say it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And like, oh my god, man! Like this really felt like a real return. I can't really even say that because I didn't even. I don't even like. This season wasn't bad at all. It has not been bad to me at all. Like I had a hiccup episode with the beach episode, but that's about it. It's like that. That's like the slowest episode out of this whole thing. And then now it's just like, okay, why does this feel like this is like bumped up like in like season one kind of quality after like it started last week's episode and now this one is like, oh my god, what is happening here?
I mean,
It's
I guess
like
they just wanted to take time to just build the story up and everything, and I think it's paying off because like we mentioned earlier, they foreshadowed all these things and they kept you guessing throughout the season, and then now we're getting the payoffs now. So that's really what you're supposed to do. Like that's I believe like that's what you're supposed to do, and they doing the right thing. They doing the justice. They doing the show justice, man.
still production IG. It's still production IG, and really like this really shows they still care about this show, and really like this is what makes Fully Cooley. I really can't wait for next week's episode. To be honest, like I'll get my rating now since you gave. Did you give yours already?
Oh no, I didn't. But I don't even think I need to say it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, like I guess 5 stars out of 5 stars for me. And we also didn't get. I think I know why her eyes were like that, but I think because of Genu's eyes were red, or I don't know, what are they fuchsia? Some look. Point is, Haruko's eyes were changed. She got her pink hair back. I mentioned this, and her eyes changed to Genu's eyes. So, and she was also pregnant. I don't understand that. I don't understand like where the pregnancy go at the end of the episode. Now it's just gone. I don't understand that. Why your eyes still like Genu's eyes? You soul stealer. Oh, oh god.
Yeah, there's gonna be some
Um,
crazy conspiracies come tomorrow
don't-
and the rest of the week.
um, other than that, like brilliant animation, brilliant use of the pillows and the sounds from the last season. Oh my god, that nostalgia hit me hard, especially like at the end, man. Like oh my god, like I had like kind of flashbacks to like the first season with how they set that up, and um. The last episode's gonna be rocking. That's all I can say.
Man,
I love this
I
episode.
can't wait. I can't wait to just watch this whole season back to back, just for a whole 3 or 4 hours. I just can't wait to do that because I think this gonna be really cool to just watch back to back. But yeah, I think we talked enough. I think we kind of covered everything that happened in this episode. Surprisingly, I think we did better in this review than we have in our other reviews. So yeah, maybe we need to start doing our reviews like this, where we are just kind of more scatterbrained. But let us let us know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Let us know if let us know just let us know what you guys thought about this episode. Like the video, subscribe. We're out of here. Peace.